Hi Gemini, thank you and welcome to your April reading. This month is a pretty tricky month. I wasn't going to be doing readings and I did a reading for all star signs for April just due to this whole coronavirus issue that we're all going through, and the energy I was feeling. I won't go into it. If you're interested, listen to that video that I posted. But it gave me a lot of energy, so I am actually going to go ahead with the individual monthly readings for all star signs. I'm just going to try and keep them quite brief, but still offering my free mini readings. So if you do need more info, please just subscribe and ask your question below or email me to my private email address, and I'll be happy to go into that, to answering your question there. So this month we find ourselves all in the same predicament, a lot of us, and Geminis are no different. But I see that you have a lot of hope and a lot of joy around you in April. So that's actually really nice to start out the month. And I feel like for a lot of you as well, in terms of your work, you're actually doing really well at work as well, and you are perhaps even getting rewarded or being singled out as a hero, and really just you're emerging better than you were before in April, and there's a victory for you as well. And the Six of Wands can also mean that there is a change or a metamorphosis happening for you this month, and that, I feel like that's happening for a lot of people. We are having to change the way we do things, and also now you've got the Six of Swords, and this often would mean travel over the water or by the water. But I feel because it's essentially a journey or an escape, or you're escaping a bad situation and entering into a good one. So it could be that you are traveling back home from somewhere, or you're getting away from this coronavirus and self-isolating. This can also mean that you may have to be traveling for work. But we do see the Five of Wands there, which is sort of, it's a struggle. Also, there could be conflict as well with your neighbours in these troubled times. If we are, locked inside and not able to get out, there can possibly be some issues arising with your neighbours as well. Now, just be careful for some of you that you make sure you want to keep on the right track. I'm feeling a lot of you might have some ill-conceived plans about going about something or doing something, and it's also you may just not be on the right track in terms of a plan of action that you were thinking of getting into. It can mean that also a plan of action that we had in mind is actually going to be suspended, or you're not going to be able to sort of undertake the plan that you actually were wanting to do. But this is sort of saying, your current path might not be the right one. So and it might not be one that you're meant to be on. And, you know, it's a nice way of saying, you know, just maybe relook at everything that you want to do. And it can also just mean a loss of freedom. So you perhaps, due to this COVID-19 situation, you might be feeling really trapped and stuck. And so that can sort of indicate, you know, a loss of freedom. We're not doing the things we wanted to do. We're not going where we wanted to go. And yeah, it can feel like a loss, you know, in your liberty. You know, also just consider when you're faced with a problem and you've got a poor plan to resolve that problem, just try to, you know, reconsider the solution and find a different way, because you know, you've got to be aware of the consequences of your actions. So if you're thinking of doing something a little bit shady, or going about something that's not quite right or doesn't sit right with you, you know, just doesn't sit right in your integrity, just be careful about that, because you know, when all of this whole situation is over, we can return to normal and things can go back as they are, but we can't take back our actions. So that's just really an important point for some Geminis this month. Now, you've got the Emperor there, and so you are going to be quite strong, and you're going to show a lot of leadership skills, and I feel like this might have something to do with your work. So this is where you are going to be getting rewarded for those efforts. You are going to be really strong, and you're going to be really taking charge of a situation, sort of being the boss. And I feel like that is just going to be really, you're going to be really, taking on that leadership role. And yeah, going to accomplish a lot of things. And it's going to really prove beneficial for you financially. I feel like that there is a new start in terms of your finances. You know, you do have the Ace of Pentacles there, and that is quite a good sign, you know, for money. You know, it's always could be a new job. You're doing a new job in a new way. You're actually, you know, striving for perfection, and you're going to be able to balance, you know, your material life as well as your spiritual life in this situation, which is going to be quite good. And you're going to prosper, and you've got the will to succeed. So that is quite a good message for a lot of you Geminis as well. Now, I do feel like I'm not sure if I mentioned it, there could be some issues about a travel plan that is going to have to be cancelled, or some struggle about this travelling situation. But for others, I do feel that travel is going to be work related. Now, like a lot of people this month, you are hanging on to your money a little bit, and you know, you might not necessarily need to either. You might be this is the miser card, as well as the hoarder's card. So you might be out there hoarding some stuff, or you might be hanging on to money really tightly when you don't actually have to. You don't have to stress too much about it. But I do feel like most people in this situation, we are kind of taking care of our financial situation, and sort of hanging on to what we have, and being a little bit frugal, I guess, as well. Now, you are the second sign that has received Archangel Michael. And I was just saying when I did the other reading that I don't think I've ever had Archangel Michael come out in the Doreen Virtue Healing with the Angels card, and that was the first time for that other star sign, and now you've got it as well. So I feel Archangel Michael is looking after a lot of us in these troubled times and these times of need. So I'll read it out anyway. This powerful Archangel is with you right now. He gives you courage and helps release you from the effects of fear. Through this card, Archangel Michael is making his presence known to you. He's the symbol of true courage, stemming from knowing that God's love is the only power there is. Michael is letting you know that as you make changes in your life and as you encounter challenges, you are safe and secure. God and the angels help you stay true to yourself during these trying times. Have a heart-to-heart discussion with Michael often. Pour out all of your concerns to him. Don't worry about overburdening him. Michael, like all of the angels, is able to be with everyone simultaneously who needs him. He has no limitations of time or space, so he can help you and others concurrently. That's actually such a beautiful message. And so just if you are struggling this month or struggling through this whole COVID-19 situation, just know that you do have someone looking over your shoulder and taking care of you. So I hope that resonated with some of you. As I said, still check out my take the opportunity to get that free mini reading if you're a new subscriber, and if you want something to make you smile. I also have some beautiful crystal jewelry that is handmade in Australia by an Australian designer, all one-off pieces. So check that out at my website, kazana.com.au. So have a great April, guys. Love you. Bye.